Subject is ERP. When we are discussing or talking about ERP, every software nowadays become ERP. It is not true. What is the ERP? Is an enterprise resource planning. This has to be planned from the top to bottom. What is the top layer thing for? To run the business, get the efficiency, get the stabilized income, scalability, and market presence. So these are the major aims and matters for the bottom layer. What exactly which is tuned to the top bottom liners, from the top line to the bottom liners, the information management. From where we are going to get the data, that is the point wherein which is structured from the top to bottom to get the purified, qualified, error-free data. And the structure of database. Structure of database should be very scalable as per the growth of the company and the changes of the situations. So these are the basic rules to get an ERP solution or implement an ERP solution. ERP solution is having a very broad components. The first component of an ERP solution is business process management. Process flow has to be tuned very in detail. That should be simplify your processes and procedures to run the company. That has to be stabilized over there. Communication has to be managed properly. Inter communication between within the organization and outside the organization, all the communication has to be properly maintained, arranged, and logically it has to be expressed for doing the work and getting the reply of it. Next, we are talking about information. Information also has to be managed properly, that where the decision making is happening, that place what is information is required to take a decision has to be pushed to that particular place or to the person. The same way, the information managed in such a manner that how to take decisions in the top level. And apart from that, this is going to be getting into the alert mechanism also. The same time, when we are doing the transactions, the same time of the transaction, the recording is happening, the data is taken care by the system. So when initially when we are talking about the normal software, somebody is doing the transactions, all the manual documentation comes to a place and the data entry operation is happening and it is getting entered. This is basically a manual transition of the manual data to digitalization. We are not talking about, in today's ERP environment, we are not talking about the manual documentation or manual data has to be converted into digital documents. No, we are talking about the real-time basis. When the transaction is happening, then and there, the documentation has to be happen, that is to be digitalized documentation, and the information what is required as a data has to be taken care in that, and that time whatever the validations and scrutinies has to be put into have the error-free database. So this is very much important and it is a very serious subject. We are not talking about when we are running a business for next 6 months. After 6 months, when you are looking back to analyze something, the fragmented data, how we are going to monitor it and how we are going to analyze it. And for that type of analysis, then you have to have an analytical tool, and the tool has to prepared in such a manner that this data has to be dumped to somewhere and clean up and analyze it and getting into it. This is a very, very complex situations. These all complex situation has to be removed from in one place, that is the ERP implementation. When we are talking about the ERP implementation, one more scenario we are looking into that, how the information mobility is required. See, the system is in place. System is in place as a server, and you are using, the users are having laptop or desktop, and there should be the mobility of information. What are the mobility of information is required when the staff or the users are going out? Then and there they need the information to discuss with the third party, as well as when they are doing a transaction on the road, then that also has to be immediately get it done. So the operational efficiency will be improved. And one is operational efficiency, second is actually the accuracy point will be more. Third thing is that the internal preparation to get that information and do the next level of job will be done then and there. There will not be any pendency. The another one more scenario is that the task management within the total procedures of running a business. Everybody is doing their own task. So the task, how they are getting the task has to be get from job description. Another task is getting from the other managers or any other subordinate or colleagues or buddies are giving you the task, or you are giving to others to the task. The total task is actually, it is getting managed within the system. So the task management is very much important to a company to know that how this efficient way of working is happening. I am just giving you some examples. If your driver is delivering a material and then and there, and he is using a mobile application or mobile friendly application to do the delivery and get the signature, digital signature, or it is manual, then taking a photograph and getting into then the real time basis of your information management, or we are talking about the mobility, information mobility is taking care of the. So now when we are talking about a person who is a salesperson who going out and discussing with any of your customer, that time maybe you need stock details, you maybe need the age analysis of that customer, pending payments of this the customer, and pending delivery of this customer. All these questions has to be answered then and there through the system real time basis. That we are talking about information mobility again. Then we are talking about documentation. Documentation digitalization is then and there when we are getting the digital signature, the document is prepared internally and it is stored automatically. And apart from that, if you are sending a purchase order and you are getting a quotation, and against the quotation you are sending a purchase order, the quote is actually, it is scanned and put it into a purchase order. So your matter is over. The digital documentation is over there. Apart from that, on the top of it, there should be one big layer. That layer is artificial intelligence today. What is artificial intelligence? We can use artificial intelligence in two places. One is that automatic processes to reduce the manual intervention. The system will automatically do certain things. That is the repeated jobs which we are supposed to do it, sending outstanding statement to everyone. These type of things automatically it will happen. Second scenario is actually we are talking about business intelligence, AI method to give you analytics, deep learning of your internal data. These areas being structured properly. Nowadays, what happened is artificial intelligence, it's a very another segment. ERP is another segment, data is another segment. This fragmentation has to go. This should be in one place and in one bundle. So that the total area we are talking about ERP today, and don't misunderstand that the ERP is just a software. ERP is part of your company, and that is your nerve, and through these nerves only your business will flow. Thank you.